Bruce Moyer here with Aspire Beyond Limits.
And I am Angelo Datseris, President and CEO of Leverage Lending Group.
And we kind of know each other for a little bit of time. We met how many? Like
17, 2000.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. We made 2000s as I've known this cat. So.
Yeah. So I've been in real estate education the entire time, and you've been in mortgage services.
I've been in a mortgage broker the entire time.
Let's start there. Let's talk about the difference between mortgage broker and a mortgage lender.
Okay. That's a fantastic question, Bruce, because it's a very common question. It's something that people don't really understand, the difference between a mortgage broker and a mortgage lender. Okay. Right. So a mortgage lender is a retail bank where basically you go to that particular bank, and let's just say Bank X. I'm not going to say
we won't make any
right? No, right. So let's say you go to Bank X, you walk into a retail bank branch, and you go to the loan officer at that bank branch, and you say, I'd like to get a mortgage loan. Well, that particular bank branch, let's say Bank X, that's all they have is their
own product that's in-house, that is only for them to sell, promote, advertise, market.
Correct.
And get you to buy.
They don't have anything else other than what they can offer you, whether it be FHA, VA, conventional, whatever. Okay, they don't really have anything outside the box. And a bank, as you know, 9 to 5.
Yeah. And I know my calls and my emails go well beyond 9 o'clock in the morning and well after 5 p.m.
Correct.
So I love working with Angelo so much that he's my number one mortgage referral to any of my real estate clients. And understanding that I love calling him a mortgage broker because that's what he is. I say it this way, and it may not be your term, but I say that he shops for the client, not shopping for the institution that he's representing.
Correct.
So there's a huge difference there. He's been able to save my clients. I mean, he's saving thousands of dollars on the monthly payments and on the annual percentage rates.
Correct.
You can take their individual clients' abilities to qualify for something and then find them the right product, right?
Correct. And it is a proven statistic that if you use a mortgage broker over the life of the loan, you will save in upwards of $9,400. As
I don't doubt that.
A proven statistic between a retail mortgage broker and a bank. Once again, the bank doesn't have your best interest in mind. They have their bank's product's best interest in mind. And once again, accessibility. Working with a mortgage broker, we're not just 9 to 5. We're working on the weekends with you because, listen, you have to make offers on the weekends. You have to know sales price ranges. You have to know timing of those contracts to be able to win that deal. Because if you don't know that, you could lose the deal if you're not accessible on the weekend.
Yeah.
Then
you hurt the client instead of helping them.
Correct.
And that's not a good thing.
So while I encourage everyone to shop, I want people to shop because that will just go to show you how much where mortgage brokers are faster, we're cheaper, and we're easier to get a loan with. Our average clear to close right now, it's
amazing how fast you go.
With an appraisal is 14 days. That's with an appraisal. Without an appraisal, it's 9 days.
That's the application, the loan,
going to underwriting,
to finish, and then going to settlement, and actually start to finish. Property. That's phenomenal.
And here's one major thing that we are very well known for. That's called CD at initial, closing disclosure at initials. What that stands for. So, Bruce, is there a cooling off period?
Yes, 3 days.
3 days.
3 business days.
Business days. So let's say you're running tight on a majority of the lenders, banks out there. They're not going to issue your clear to close until you get that, or they're not going to issue the CD until they get the clear to close. Well, for us.
All right, hold on. So he's mentioning the closing disclosure. All the numbers on the documents that the buyer and the seller agreed to. And then what did you say? The clear to close.
The clear to close. So once all the loan documents get cleared in underwriting, you get what's called a CTC or a clear to close. Our 3 favorite words, by the way.
Mine too, believe me. I love seeing that email that says, you're clear to close.
Yep.
Or the video that you send out.
And they don't issue the preliminary closing disclosure until that time frame. Well, we issue our preliminary closing disclosure as soon as the loan initially comes out of underwriting, which is a day after we submit it. So our cooling off period is done before you even get the appraisal back. So there's so many ways that we can make the loan more efficient. It's cheaper, we're easier to work with, and we're more accessible.
Well, and you have more flexibility because not only are you looking for that all products that you have access to, the client really gets to drive you a bit and say what they're wanting, right?
Correct.
And so you're more client driven as we are as real estate agents.
Correct. So let's say, the client asked, look, I want to have my mortgage payment at $2,300. Mm-hmm. So if we have a 30-year mortgage,
oftentimes we hear that.
Yeah. So if we have a 30-year mortgage and their payment is, let's say, $2,600, we can customize our loan. We can do 27 years. We can do 26 years. We can do 18 years. Whatever we need to do to customize to back into that payment with our loan program and our products. And so it's just the accessibility, the flexibility that you have with a mortgage broker you do not have with a lender.
Well, and you always are the first to answer my phone calls and my emails, and you keep me copied on everything you do with the clients that I have. So it lets me stay really informed and knowing what the process is with you.
Because how many times have you worked with somebody where you have to call them to ask them what's going on with the loan?
Yeah, and it doesn't help me as a real estate agent look very professional.
No.
So I love the extra communication and stuff that you guys
You're getting email updates when the loan's disclosed, initial disclosure. You're getting updates for initial approvals.
But hold on. Your emails are not just reading emails; they're video emails. So you don't misinterpret anything that he's trying to convey to you.
We like to rehumanize the transaction because we're not transactional. We're relationship driven. It's all about relationship.
Like us.
We've been doing this for going on 20 years now. And so we're in this business. We're still in this business because of our relationship. And there's a lot of people that can't say that.
Yeah. Well, we honor not only our clients' relationships, we even honor our relationships. So it is part of everyone's business is building relationships. The number one key to any success in real estate is you got to have that strength and tenacity to build that relationship.
And with you, Bruce, the knowledge that he brings with basically writing the real estate exam, he has so much knowledge when it comes to the laws on what you can and can't do. And so I'll have questions sometimes that other agents, I question them, and I'll get the phone and hey, Bruce, is this legal? Is this possible? Is this okay? He'll be like, yes, it is. No, it isn't. So the wealth of information that you have over a lot of people that I work with, because of your the education, your licensing, and how long you've been doing this, it just goes to show you're a great resource for me to count on. So thank you.
And we were both so passionate about what we do anyway. So he's not saying it's about me that he doesn't already have himself. So this is
and I'm passionate about the broker channel, the wholesale broker channel. I'm an advocate of the channel.
So let's review that. So we've said lender and broker. So to me, I say mortgage lender. That's like an institution or where you go to get a loan versus a mortgage broker, which is someone like Angelo who actually works with the client.
I have multiple. I think I'm set up with about 35 different lenders right now where I can go to. If it doesn't fit here, it'll maybe fit in this box, or if it doesn't fit in this box, it'll fit in this box. I can find, and I can definitely do the non-bankable deals, which is called non-conventional, non-conforming, non-QM is what they call it, non-qualifying mortgage. So whereas a traditional lender, they can't. They only have their products. And so, and if I can't find it, I have a huge broker community that will help me find it.
Well, we have two words in our industry that does the same thing that these two words do in the mortgage industry. A lender and a broker are very different in the mortgage industry, and the same thing in real estate agents. Real estate agent versus a realtor or a licensee or a salesperson or a broker. We have a lot of different words.
Can you explain that to me a little bit?
Yeah, realtor just means that somebody who has a license in the state of which they're representing a client. So each state has their own real estate license. And then because they have that license, they can join the Association of National Association of Realtors, NAR, that allows them to become a realtor member. And people who do that, join the membership organization, can then use the word realtor in their own advertisements. But you can't do it unless you actually have that membership into the organization. So a lot of people say, why use a realtor? Well, there's many benefits to that. But most importantly is because they're a realtor, they have a license to assist you. It is an occupational license that they have to qualify for in every state. And that person's strength and their ability to represent you well should be backed by that state's own approval process. So I know in North Carolina, our approval process is quite stringent.
Right.
And when we get a license, most of us do, majority of us go ahead and get that realtor membership status. Not all of us need it though. So you'll find some people out there that have a real estate license that don't need to become a realtor because you don't have to, for example, in commercial sales or in land sales, you don't have to be a realtor. But in residential, or if you're doing small commercial, you're going to want to have a realtor status.
I didn't realize with the land sales that you just kind of schooled me on that. I didn't realize with land sales that you didn't need that.
Well, they don't have to have a realtor membership, but they still need to have a license.
Right.
So yeah, there's words that are all confusing. They even confuse some of us. That's why I hope that you come back to Aspire Beyond Limits and let me help educate you and get you clear about it. But also understand the difference for your clients that you're representing, the difference between lenders and brokers, even the mortgage industry. So that's number one. Let's go to number two. Let's talk about the difference between
pre-approval.
Pre-approval and pre-qualification.
Okay. So there's huge differences, and people use them and they interchange them and they use them. Sometimes they say pre-approval and they mean pre-qualification and vice versa.
Which one's the weakest?
The weakest is pre-qualification because a pre-qualification is basically somebody completes a loan application, okay, and we review the data that they've entered in our loan software. We review that information, and based on just the information they've keyed in, it looks like it's a doable deal. That is
so you don't verify the information. That's why it's a qualification.
Correct.
Got it.
Correct.
So pre-approval, it sounds like you do the verification process before you actually answer them.
Correct. So pre-approval is where we actually obtain their documentation, W-2s, pay stubs, income documentation, whatever their scenario calls for. If they have investment properties, we review that information. We calculate the income. We run our automated underwriting scenarios to make sure that it's a doable deal. We pull the credit to make sure that the credit is verified and eligible.
People don't lie about their applications, do they? For loans,
do people lie on their applications?
Oh, I think everybody does. I think that salary always goes up a bit. I know when I'm driving around as an agent, I always take it down at least $10,000 from what somebody tells me they can make. Always do it every time. So I've always learned that about the loan process.
The self-employed borrowers or buyers, a lot of them do not have the understanding of how much they actually make on paper.
Yeah.
So they think they
Very
make
important.
X when they really make X.
Yeah.
So it's very different. And so that's the difference between pre-qualification and an actual pre-approval. We also go one step further. We have technology where we do actual full underwrites on the file.
Okay. Underwriting just sounds pretty.
Underwrites.
What are you talking about?
So once you go under contract, you submit your loan to an underwriter, which is at one of our wholesale lenders that we broker through. So then the underwriter basically puts their stamp of approval on it. Okay.
So have they already verified it then before it goes to the underwriter, or
we proof it, and then for our new technology that we have, we can do our underwrites. We underwrite the file.
Yeah.
And get a very strong underwritten approval before it even gets to the underwriter, where all the underwriter has to do is put their stamp on it. And
they're just reviewing everything you've already done, and everything's done.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just a second set of eyes on something that we've already done. So
is the underwriter the underwriter then is towards the end of the process, correct?
The underwriter is at the beginning of the loan submission process for final approval.
There you go. So it's a verification. It's an authentic verification of everything they presented.
Yep.
It's been verified and it's been vetted, if you will.
Correct.
And then the person is able to obtain the note.
Correct. And there's a lot of variables that happen in underwriting. We have appraisal issues.
Yeah.
We have title issues. We've never had an appraisal come in light, have we?
No, not at all.
We've title issues.
Some real estate agents don't even go to settlement. So, all professionals can get a little bit slack sometimes. Please forgive most of us if we do. We try not to do that.
Right.
But yeah, everybody.
There's sometimes some things that come up that we can't. But we're local to our community.
Yes.
Too, which that means it's a huge difference than somebody outside from that comes in from for appraisals per se. If somebody comes in from Winston-Salem to do an appraisal or
which is an hour and a half away from here.
Right.
From
so
Charlotte.
they don't know the area. Mm-hmm. They don't know you know, the demographics. They don't know they're not in tune to the actual market. So a lot of variables that come into play while the loan is in underwriting. But rest assured, you know, once that comes out of underwriting, which is a day right now, we had about a 4-hour approval. Today we had about a 4-hour approval, came out of underwriting. The CD goes out. The CD goes out. The initial CD goes out for signature, which then starts the cool off period, and there is no waiting period before.
That's awesome. If you get a family, single family or a residential loan, there are federal laws that you have to abide by, and closing disclosures are one of them. You have to be given 3 days. Let me say it correctly. He would need to give you a closing disclosure document as a buyer 3 days prior to you going to the settlement table and signing your life away and getting underneath the promissory note and all those things. So that cooling off period, that 3 days, is actually for you to look at all the numbers and make sure that you are actually guaranteeing and getting what it is that he said that you're getting.
Correct.
So I love that verification process. Now, there's some people who try to push away from it, but I will tell you, that's a federal violation of what you're doing. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau is a heavy consumer watchdog that protects buyers when they buy real estate. And it's very important that you have these 3 days of closing disclosure so you can fully understand what your costs are before you obtain the note.
And it's rare. And I haven't heard of this until last week, where I saw it in one of my forums. Somebody actually was able to not have to not have to wait that because they had an extenuating circumstance. But 9 times out of 10, they do not allow for any circumstances.
They don't really. And there are qualifications. It has to be a federally related mortgage.
Right.
So it has to be something that you would be using an institution for. It would not consider cash or if you just have your own investment money that you'll be putting. None of it would be requiring a 3-day closing disclosure rule. And if you're buying commercial property, it doesn't qualify for that. It's only single-family residential units, so it's between 1 to 4 units, and you have to have a federally related mortgage or deed of trust for it. So that's other stuff we can get into. But we wanted to give you an introduction of us and what we are so passionate about in our lives, and that is making certain that our customers and our clients and our students all get the best education and the best representation in any real estate transaction that they have.
Correct, because reputation is what in this business, Bruce?
It's everything. 100%. It's as good as building relationships with people that they walk symbiotic with one another. If you don't treat people well, you're not going to be in this business long.
And consistency.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent across the board with everything that you do. I could do 20 loans in a row that are spotless perfect, but if I let off the gas one time, or I've never known you to do that. Which I don't, but I'm just trying to say that one loan that could ruin a relationship. We make sure that does not happen.
Yeah,
to the best of our ability.
I'll say this real quick and I'll let him go. Is that you remember that one client that came to me and he said to me that you had cursed at him? I beg to differ with that client because I know Angelo would not do that. He treats people the same way I treat them, with extreme professionalism and would put no derogatory comments to them. So you remember what I did. I kind of with that client.
Yeah.
Because I can trust him more so than some of my own clients.
Right.
So listen, I hope you
enjoy it.
Appreciate it, and enjoy the video, and hope these concepts have do some world of good. Please reach out, contact us. We've had this up on the board behind us the whole time so that you know where we are. Feel free to look us up on the internet, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever it is that you use. We'll be there.
Use us as a resource. If you just have questions, just shoot us a message, slide into our DMs, ask whatever you want to do. We're here for you. So
appreciate it, guys.
And thank you, Bruce.
Yep. Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Always good working with my best bud. And that's a wrap.